up to $1,500. Get rolling at Polaris.com.
Spectrum Mobile now has the iPhone XS with a breakthrough dual camera system, so I can take amazing photos. And with Spectrum Mobile's unmatched network, I can easily share those photos with the whole world.
That's 7.5 billion people.
I only send them to my friends.
Oh,
You probably aren't going to get a 1 seed, but oh well.
I think you need to get out more. Why are you talking to my mom?
Lorraine? She's a riot. I call her Larazy because she's crazy.
Want the amazing new iPhone XS? Choose Spectrum Mobile.
She's a firecracker.
Please switch.
I switched to Chevy.
I switched to Chevy.
We switched to Chevy.
I switched from a Ram
Actually,
to a Chevy.
put this up
See,
here.
more people are switching to Chevy.
We love our Chevy. Why do we switch? Just look at it.
Get 16% below MSRP on most Equinox models when you finance with GM Financial. Or current competitive owners get 21% below MSRP. That's over $8,300 on this Equinox.
Ah, boating. Tundra. A little R&R. Camry. Wow.
There we go.
Off-roading. Forerunner. Our treasure hunting. Highlander mateys.
Thanks.
Wherever you want to go, we've got a great deal on a Toyota to get you there.
Now you can get there in a dynamic new 2019 Camry with $1,500 cash back. Or you can get a low mileage lease on Camry for just $219 a month.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota,
Right.
let's go places.
Introducing the only $6 meal deal in the entire world that has Arby's foods in it. Arby's, we have the meat.
News Channel 5, winner of the Emmy for News Excellence.
Finally. Let's go. We're not getting a 1 seed.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Greg Gumbel. Welcome to the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. Just a short while ago, the selection committee finished up this year's tournament brackets. 32 teams received an automatic bid, 36 await an at-large. Joining me now to help us reveal the 68-team field, Clark Kellogg, Seth Davis, all kinds of storylines in play. What are the biggest questions?
Well, I think number 1 seed, how did the Michigan State win in the Big Ten Championship impact the 1 and 2 seed lines? Also, which bubble teams got in and did not? And then I'm really curious about Wofford and Buffalo. How will they be seeded in this year's tournament?
I only know one thing for certain right now. No one wants to hear me talk. Let them know what's going on.
All right, without further delay, let's begin the reveal. Here are the tournament brackets from the NCAA and its corporate champion, Capital One. To no one's surprise, the overall number 1 seed is Duke, with the Blue Devils playing in the East region. The Blue Devils, the 14th time they're a number 1 seed, their first since 2015. 4 of their 5 titles came as a number 1 seed. So the number 1 seed overall, the Duke Blue Devils. Now, first and second round games in Columbia, South Carolina on Friday and Sunday. Duke will play the winner of the first 4 game in Dayton on Wednesday between North Carolina Central's Eagles out of the Mid-Eastern Athletic Conference and North Dakota State's Bison out of the Summit League. The winner of that game will be the 16th seed going against Duke. Moving on down, the number 8 seed in the East out of the Atlantic 10, the Rams of VCU. They won their first outright Atlantic 10 regular season championship. They will play University of Central Florida Knights out of the American Athletic Conference. They return to the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2005. Now, these games to be played first and second round in San Jose on Friday and Sunday. The 5th seed in the East region, the Bulldogs of Mississippi State. Bulldogs have 8 quad 1 wins. Those are wins against quality teams based on location. And the Bulldogs, a number 5 seed, seems to go well with their demeanor right now. I betcha. Who are they going to play? They're going up against the Liberty Flames out of the Atlantic Sun. They want to share the regular season Atlantic Sun title with Lipscomb, then went on to defeat Lipscomb in the tournament finals. Continuing, the second team out of the Atlantic Coast Conference is Virginia Tech. The Hokies, the number 4 seed in the East, 3 straight NCAA tournament appearances for the first time in school history. They're happy as can be, and they're going to face the Billikens of St. Louis, the number 13 seed, and the second team out of the Atlantic 10. So it'll be Virginia Tech against St. Louis. First and second round matchups in Jacksonville, Florida on Thursday and Saturday. The number 6 seed in the East, the Terrapins of Maryland, out of the Big Ten. Coach Mark Turgeon has the 4th youngest team in Division I. They will play the winner of the first 4 game in Dayton, Ohio on
Belmont
Tuesday,
made it!
between Belmont, the Bruins from the Ohio Valley, and from
Look how excited they are.
And they should be happy. Everybody should be happy that Belmont got in. They deserve to get in.
Agreed.
Kudos from the committee for reaching out to them. And also how about Fran Duncan?
Yes, kudos to the committee.
Making the NCAA tournament.
Yes, Belmont made it. I'm so
All right, the number
excited
3
right
seed
now.
in the East, the second team out of the SEC, the LSU Tigers.
They gave
still
him
have
a
to
3
deal with
seed.
off-court situations
Wow.
with their coach, Will Wade, Tony Benford filling in as the head coach, the interim head coach. They will meet the Yale Bulldogs from the Ivy League. They won a share of the regular season title with Harvard, then went on to beat the Crimson in the Ivy League tournament championship game.
I'm really tempted
Now,
to,
first and
but-
second round action in Des Moines
Don't
on
BS.
Thursday
Don't
and
BS.
Saturday will feature these teams. The number 7 seed, Louisville, the 3rd team out of the Atlantic Coast. Boy, Jordan Wara led the Cardinals in scoring and rebounding. He'll be on display, and they will go up against the second team out of the Big Ten Conference, the Golden Gophers of Minnesota. Coach Richard Pitino saw his team upset second seed Purdue in the Big Ten tournament before losing to Michigan in the tournament semifinals. And the last teams in the East, the 3rd team out of the Big Ten, Michigan State Spartans. And what a gutsy performance they put on in the Big Ten championship.
It sure was, and maybe a little bit of a surprise to some people that they are not the number 1 seed, so they end up on the 2 line, which means if you're North Carolina, Tennessee, or Gonzaga, you're feeling a little bit better about your chances. Not all of them will be 1 seeds, but Michigan State obviously will not.
And nobody's playing better than the Spartans. All they've gone through, the way they've performed to win a conference regular season championship, in-conference tournament championship, outstanding.
All right, who do the Spartans take on? Out of the Missouri Valley Conference, the number 15 seed Bradley
Hopefully
Braves.
Bradley's not MTSU.
Northern Iowa win their first Missouri Valley Conference tournament title in 31 years. They come in with a 9-9 conference record, 20-14 overall. They will meet Michigan State. So take a look at that bracket
Interesting region.
and tell me what you see.
Well, I see a team well, you take a look at Duke, obviously, but VCU, the 8-9 games are always intriguing. But this Liberty team, I've watched the Liberty Flames for all season long. They shoot the 3, they're balanced, they're aggressive. That will be a challenging matchup for Mississippi State.
Why waste time? Liberty beats Mississippi State. That's my first upset pick. How about a potential
Wouldn't
Duke
surprise me.
Virginia
Liberty's
Tech
who
Sweet
beat
16 matchup? That would be an ACC rematch from the regular season. Remember, Virginia Tech beat Duke when they didn't have Zion, and Virginia Tech's going to be at full strength with their point guard, Justin Robinson. And then I think hopefully we are destined for a Duke Michigan State regional final. That would be a terrific treat. Watch out for y'all. I know you love those.
Oh, I really like the Bulldogs.
Dangerous
Yeah.
14 seed. What do you think?
Outstanding scoring team, average 80 points a game. 5 guys average double digits. They've got size, and then Mieoni, they've got one of the outstanding scorers and players in college basketball. That'll be a tough test for LSU.
I also think Belmont gets Temple and Maryland.
All right, guys, you
I
can
did
play
too.
the official bracket game of NCAA March Madness. The Capital One NCAA March Madness Bracket Challenge is almost ready for your picks. Get your bracket started at NCAA.com or in the March Madness Live app. Dozens of teams across the country waiting anxiously to see where they'll go, who they're going to be playing, including the defending national champions Villanova. For some, if they even make it into the field of 68. Quarter of the field is set. When the selection show continues, we will reveal the South region.
The NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show is sponsored by AT&T. More for your thing. That's our thing. Capital One. What's in your wallet? And by Coca-Cola Zero Sugar. Great taste, zero sugar.
I got this one, guys. Them two.
You know how that make me feel. Oh, Chuck, you made a big head and you're a big head? Well, I call them Chuck emojis. I got one for any game scenario.
Show me the truck emoji for when your bracket gets busted.
What about Cinderella upset? Oh, Chuck Tiara.
There, truck emoji for when you see hot dog?
No, friends.
Gymnastics.
Yes.
Does the 7-passenger Buick Enclave have everything your family wants in an SUV?
Yes.
It's March Madness. Get a sweet 16% below MSRP on most of these Buick models. That's just over $9,400 on this 2018 Buick Enclave Avenue.
Ugh, what happened to us? We used to gather in crowd arenas and cheer on our champions. Now we're watching March Madness while shoved into work.
That'll be on numerous times. That is great.
Loser, jerk, or worse, watching
That
the
is
dead
really,
kids.
really,
We
really
left
good.
alone with a DVR replay while trying not to wake the baby. Where did that wild animal go? Oh, he's looping in Milwaukee on a status call.
Idiot followed us, throw a little basketball in.
Let's quit our jobs, fake our deaths, escape our prisons, join witness protection, tear down our beautiful walls.
LSU got a tough matchup in the first round. I can't believe they gave him a 3 seed. I thought they for sure beat a
Watch
2.
all the waves and pound every single game. Let's do as our ancestors did. Get rabid, get heated, tear like a stranger, and scream until we bust our brackets. You want madness? That's March Madness. Buffalo Wild Wings.
Belmont, LSU, Louisville.
Google Cloud and the NCAA have teamed up to find new ways to measure college basketball. This March Madness, see how Google Cloud student developers are using data to analyze games all tournament long.
Bracket season is here. Join the madness by playing the official bracket game of the NCAA. Just download the CBS Sports app and start playing today.
Welcome back to the NCAA Men's Basketball Championship Selection Show. Let's now focus our attention on the upper right quadrant. Continue to reveal the tournament bracket from the NCAA and its corporate champion, Coca-Cola. The second overall #1 seed is Virginia. The Cavaliers are going to the South region. It's the 7th time they have been a #1 seed. We know what happened to them last year. They'll try not to repeat.
Anticipating a much longer stay in this year's tournament for the Cavaliers.
All right, so the #1 seed in the South is Virginia. These first and second round games will take place in Columbia, South Carolina on Friday and Sunday. The Cavaliers are the 4th team out of the Atlantic Coast Conference, and they will meet 16th seed Gardner-Webb. The running Bulldogs out of the Big South will beat Radford in the Big South Tournament Final. They're up for the game.
They are up for the game. They've got a terrific player in David Effiani. He's outstanding. The freshman Jose Perez. This team worked their way through road games in the conference tournament to win the opportunity to be in the field, and they are tough-minded and fun to watch.
Congrats to the running Bulldogs of Gardner-Webb. All right, the 8-9 game in the South. The 3rd seed out of the Southeastern is the Rebels of Ole Miss. Coach Kermit Davis, in his first year at Ole Miss, named SEC Coach of the Year. They will meet out of the Big 12 the Oklahoma Sooners, the #9 seed, 6 NCAA tournament appearances in the last 7 seasons.
Probably on the friendly side of the bubble, so not a surprise. But one of those power conference teams that was under 500 in its league. We'll see when we find out the second first 4 pairing, how they divvied up between the power conferences and the mid-majors.
All right, these are first and second round games in San Jose on Friday night and Sunday. The 4th team out of the Big Ten, the Badgers of Wisconsin. Ethan Happ, 16th player in Big Ten history, to be a 3-time first-team All-Big Ten selection, helps lead the way for the Badgers. They will meet the Oregon Ducks, the #12 seed, first team in our brackets here tonight out of the Pac-12. Oregon returns in 4 games in 4 days to capture the Pac-12 tournament
And
champion.
very impressive in that championship win over Washington.
All right, moving on down. The second team out of the Big 12, Kansas State, the Wildcats, who won a share of the Big 12 regular season title. 25-8 on the season and 14-4 in the Big 12.
Not sure if Dean Wade's going to be able to go. You see him right there, bottom right, with that boot on his foot. Be interesting to see if he has a chance. He actually missed the tournament, part of the tournament last year as well.
They will play the #13 seed out of the Big West, UC Irvine's Anteaters and win the Big West regular season title and tournament title, and Clark Kellogg likes them a lot.
I really do. I like the way this team defends and rebounds. They play an aggressive style, but they're efficient at the offensive end. The Anteaters are positioned to do some damage this season.
All right, we move on down the South Region bracket. These are first and second round games to be played in Hartford on Thursday and Saturday. First team out of the Big East on our board, the number 6 seed Villanova Wildcats. Coach Jay Wright in his 16th NCAA tournament, 3 straight Big East tournament titles. They edged out Seton Hall, won the Big East regular season title as well. So the Villanova Wildcats all set to make an appearance in Hartford beginning on Thursday. They will go up against the 11th seed St. Mary's Gales out of the West Coast Conference, who upset the nation's number 1 team, Gonzaga, to win the West Coast Conference Tournament Championship. And the Gales don't look like they're finished quite yet.
So if you're looking for bubble teams, they usually go into the 11 and the 12 seeds, but we've got 2 conference champions there in St. Mary's and Oregon. So it doesn't look like this is a bubble mystery revealed in this region.
All right, the number 3 seed and the 5th team out of the Big Ten, the Purdue Boilermakers, who won a share of the Big Ten regular season title. They come into the NCAA tournament having won 14 of their last 17 games.
Outstanding job this season by Matt Painter and his staff.
They will take on the number 14 seed Monarchs of Old Dominion out of Conference USA. Conference USA regular season and tournament champions. Now to first and second round games in Columbus, Ohio on Friday and on Sunday. Our 3rd team out of the American Athletic Conference, the Bearcats of Cincinnati. They won the American Athletic Conference tournament title, the top seed Houston.
I can't believe Cincinnati is a 7 seed. That is very low, especially considering their win today.
All right, they will take on the Iowa Hawkeyes, another team out of the Big Ten. The Hawkeyes 22-11 on the year. 10-10 in a very tough Big Ten conference.
Going back to that Cincinnati comment, I don't think they'll mind heading to Columbus, so.
Pretty good. True. You'll make them feel welcome, I'm sure.
Now, the number 2 seed in the South, the Tennessee Volunteers out of the SEC, our 4th team out of the SEC. Coach Rick Barnes did a heck of a job this year. He fell a little bit short in the SEC title game.
Yeah, listen, I think they still deserve to be a 1 seed. Their losses compared to the other 1 seed candidates were not nearly as bad. They beat Gonzaga and Kentucky twice, but they're going to be a very tough out, and that certainly clarifies the number 1 seed picture for those following close.
And who are they going to face? The 15th seed in the South out of the Patriot League, the Raiders of Colgate, who won the Patriot League tournament title.
If we lose to them,
oh, look at that excitement. 11
if we lose to
for the Raiders, they've got a dynamic point guard in Jordan Burns and also Rapolis Ivanauskas, a big-time, versatile wing player for them. This is a team that's got great momentum going into the tournament.
Of course.
All right, so we go back to the top and we do our review. Villanova, you think they come into this tournament with a bit of a purpose?
Tell you what a job Jay Wright did when you talk about what they lost from the years ago. The leadership of Haskell and Booth, really a huge part of the development of their young players to win both regular season and conference championships. Again, remarkable work, outstanding effort by the Wildcats.
Historically, you look for the 12 seeds and the 13s to pull first-round upsets, and I think that's what happens here. I think Oregon beat Wisconsin, and UC Irvine, you talked about Dean Wade being hurt for Kansas State, so they're a little bit in a weak spot there. So I like those 2 teams.
Well, 12s are 16-24 in the last 10 years in this tournament.
All right, let's slide on to the second half of the South Region bracket. We talked about Villanova and Purdue with a little something to prove.
Yeah, definitely. This Old Dominion team has won a number of close games. They've got a dynamic duo, and Ahmad Carcaver and also B.J. Stiff. But I like what Purdue is capable of doing. Good size up front, and Carson Edwards is dynamic.
A couple of geographic quirks. If it's Villanova and Purdue, Purdue is a higher seeded team, but the game is in Hartford. A little bit of a home court advantage. And you talked about Cincinnati and Columbus. If they get Tennessee in the second round, Cincinnati's already hard enough to beat without all those Bearcat fans flooding your hometown. So that's an interesting wrinkle in the geography.
All right, guys, we have several teams still on edge awaiting their fate, including the Mountain West champions Utah State, along with Wofford and Gonzaga. Murray State, as well as the Mid-American Conference champs, Buffalo,
location
Marquette. Field is almost set. That means it's time for brackets. Play with friends and compete for a trip to next year's Final Four. Download the CBS Sports app to start playing now. Look at a few teams happy to be in the big dance. Coming up, we'll reveal the Midwest region when the selection show continues live here on CBS.
everyone. The Brunch Burger is a win because now I can have brunch whenever I want.
It's a real brunch of champions.
Oh, you referring to these little things?
No, I was referring to the burger.
Sonic's Brunch Burger or quarter pound double cheeseburger and tots for $2.99. And try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
It's taking over. There's no escape. You better go.
One play.
Discover the new language of travel. Marriott Bonvoy. 30 hotel brands, endless experiences, rewards, reimagined.
So, let's see. Probably pick Virginia, Ole Miss, Wisconsin, maybe UC Irvine, Villanova, Purdue, Cincy, and then Tennessee over toothpaste.
No, I'm not. I think I pulled a helmet. Can we get some ice? Just one cube of ice.
Geico, proud partner of NCAA March Madness.
Sonic's Double Stuffed Oreo Waffle Cone, made from Oreo wafers, layered with sweet Oreo cream, real ice cream, and Oreo cookie pieces. Talk about Oreo overload. Try one before they're gone, and try order ahead to get happy hour anytime.
If you have the talent and dedication to succeed in school and in sports, we'll provide the opportunity.
Monaco is home to billionaires' mega yachts and parties that make movie stars blush.
Monaco is utopia.
Is Utopia this wealthy, though?
Tonight.
Welcome back to Studio 43 here in New York City. We're halfway through our unveiling of the 68-team field.
Thank you to all one of you that are tuned in right now.
Continue our reveal of the tournament brackets from the NCAA and its corporate champion AT&T. The third overall #1 seed is North Carolina. The Tar Heels are going to the Midwest region, and for the 17th time, it's the most all-time that any school has been a #1 seed. And by the way, all three of Roy Williams' titles came as a #1 seed. And the Tar Heels have shown themselves to be a worthy opponent every time they take the floor this year. These are first and second round games in Columbus, Ohio on Friday and on Sunday. North Carolina's Heels, the #1 seed, they'll take on the 16th seed Iona Gales out of the Metro Atlantic Athletic Conference. They won the MAC Tournament Championship. The first team out of the Mountain West is our #8 seed, Utah State's Aggies, who won the Mountain West Tournament title. Sam Merrill, the Mountain West Player of the Year. We saw they're cold.
They are really cold. They can score it. They're excellent defensively and on the glass, and they bring it for 40 minutes every time. I tell you, Sam Merrill's one of the outstanding all-around guards in the country.
It'll be a tough out for Carolina in the second round, depending upon who Utah State plays in the first round.
They're going to take on out of the Pac-12, the Washington Huskies.
Never mind.
26-8 on the year. They won the Pac-12 regular season title. Moved on to the Pac-12 tournament finals before losing to Oregon, but the Huskies 15-3 in the Pac-12 on the year. Now, first and second round games to take place in Salt Lake City on Thursday and on Saturday. The fifth team out of the SEC, the Auburn Tigers. Bruce Pearl's squad rose up.
Oh, should have been a 4 seed.
Won the SEC Tournament Championship, first time since 1985.
Impressive last couple of weeks run for the Auburn Tigers. Very impressive what they did today. Start to finish, dominated that game.
Okay, from the Western Athletic Conference, they're going to meet the #12 seed, the Aggies from New Mexico State, who ran away with the WAC regular season title and overwhelmed Grand Canyon in the WAC Tournament Championship game. 30-4 on the year for New Mexico State. The third team out of the Big 12 is the 4th seed, and that's the Kansas Jayhawks. Coach Bill Self, 21 straight NCAA tournament appearances.
Kansas a 4 seed, but in the Midwest, which means that they get out of the first weekend, they're playing in Kansas City as a home game. Interesting decision. That's going to be a point of conversation if they're on it.
Yeah, it will.
All right, they'll play the number 13 seed. The Huskies out of Northeastern. The Colonial Athletic Conference. The Huskies knocked off top seed Hofstra in the tournament final.
These Huskies have some bite now. This is a team that shoots it well, defends at a high level. Kansas will have everything they want in trying
Interesting
to
that
beat
they put Kansas in Kansas City.
These are first and second round games to take place in Tulsa on Friday and on Sunday. 4th team out of the Big 12, Iowa State Cyclones, the number 6 seed. They won their second Big 10 tournament or Big 12 tournament title in 3 years. They beat Kansas, and they will meet the number 11 seed Ohio State's Buckeyes, the 7th team out of the Big 10. Coach Chris Holtman has led the Buckeyes to the NCAA tournament in his first 2 years.
It's a bubble team, man. Clark, you want to take this?
Thrilled to see the Buckeyes there as a double-digit
They probably
seed.
deserve
They have
it.
their hands full with this high-octane Iowa State team. As a matter of fact, I think Iowa State team is a dark horse to break up a bracket because of how they can score and what they showed defensively here in winning the Big 12 championship.
Okay, at the number 3 seed, we have our 4th team out of the American Athletic, and that's the Houston Cougars. Coach Kelvin Sampson.
Dangerous team
leading
right
the
there.
Cougars to a school record 31 wins, or 29 in the regular season, 31-3 overall. They won their first conference regular season title since 1992. They'll meet number 14 seed Georgia State, the Panthers, out of the Sun Belt. Well, we saw the kind of excitement they can bring to a ball game.
Yeah, they shoot the three, straight 40% from the three, and they've got
Gonna be a tough game for Houston.
over 40% from three-point range.
All right, let's round out this Midwest bracket. First and second round games in Jacksonville
Wofford.
on Thursday and Saturday. Wofford's
Very
Terriers out of the Southern
interesting
Conference
region.
come into the tournament on a 20-game win streak after winning the
That's a
Southern
pretty good
Conference
seed
tournament.
there. I thought they'd be in that neighborhood. How about you, son?
That's on the north end of the neighborhood, but okay, that's a pretty respectable neighborhood.
Yes, it is.
I'm glad the committee had that much respect for Wofford. They certainly earned it.
And you guys also feel they'll be great representatives.
Yeah, they will, no doubt. Outstanding team, and then Fletcher McGee have one of the most lethal three-point shooters, but he's not alone. It's a good team there, the Terriers.
All right, they're going to meet the number 10 seed Pirates of Seton Hall, the second team out of the Big East. Top 25 wins over Kentucky, beat Marquette twice, and Villanova. That's part of their resume.
And then Miles Powell, they've got a guy, little fellow who's dynamic, putting the ball in the basket.
Oh, Wofford's winning that
the
game.
last matchup in the Midwest region, the 6th SEC contender, the Kentucky Wildcats. The number 2 seed.
Kentucky just got they just got screwed again.
Again, we talked about it all month long, really. It was just a matter of
Oh my gosh. Oh, that's hilarious.
During the SEC's regular season, they will beat the 15 seed Wildcats of Abilene Christian out of the Southland Conference. They beat the
Oh,
Orleans
my
Southland
goodness.
Tournament Championship. Abilene Christian comes in with 27-6. So back to the top of the Midwest region.
I sound like Uncle Lou right now laughing, but wow.
Looking ahead to Utah State, North
They
Carolina.
just don't like
That's
Kentucky,
that
do they?
second round. That would be a 10-1 matchup.
Oh, that's awesome.
Utah State has size. They've got scoring. I think that would be a really intriguing matchup there.
I think a very dangerous team here is New Mexico State. I love teams that have won all year. The 30-5, 15-1 Christian's clubs. I think they actually will beat Kansas in the second round and make it to the Sweet 16. So we're not going to have that
You're
fun.
holding up on these upsets.
Bottom half of the bracket, you can't ignore Kentucky.
No, you certainly can't. You cannot ignore Kentucky, nor can you ignore Seton Hall.
Yeah, and Kentucky could play Seton Hall in the second round, but I actually like Wofford to beat Seton Hall in that game, and that'd be a great matchup for Wofford and Kentucky. Kentucky's playing great basketball. I think it's going to be a Kentucky-North Carolina rematch in the Elite Eight. Wouldn't that be
No, because Kentucky is losing in the second round to Wofford.
Defending the Southwestern Athletic Conference title, along with Gonzaga, Texas Tech, last year's national runners-up, Michigan. We'll let you know when we return and reveal the West Region live on the selection show after this.
The NCAA, CBS, and Turner would like to recognize and thank our official NCAA
St. Mary's going to upset Villanova.
partners for their ongoing support
Wouldn't surprise
of
me.
NCAA and NCAA student athletes throughout the year.
Francis with the rebound.
Fantastic news, Ken. Glad he's doing well.
Sorry? Yeah, it's always nice when someone's willing to put themselves back out there. Get back into the dating scene. We've all been dumped, but you can't give up on love, kid. Don't give up on love, Francis!
Just okay is not okay, whether it's announcers or wireless networks. AT&T is America's best wireless network, according to America's biggest tech. Now a 5G evolution, the first step to 5G. More for your thing. That's our thing.
They say quit, they say done. They say we're too grown for fun. They say old, we say young. We say playful's never done. Don't fight the feeling, just let it flood. Stack it up, rack it up, let it go. After it's calling, pick up the phone. Let's stay playful, Oreo.
From Carolina.
If we're still smiling, you just wait up. I got a secret the world should know. Let's stay playful, Oreo.
I'm head coach Jay Wright, and this is the Lowe's Sword Right playbook. All right, Matt, tell us what you see here.
Notice how he's working the cut grass back onto the lawn. He knows that instead of going into a bag, it can act as a fertilizer and strengthen his yard. He's not green. His lawn is going to be for a long time.
Yardmanship is not dead, folks. Not by a long shot.
Craftsman outdoor power. Now at Lowe's. Shop now.
I'll probably end up picking Wofford to beat Kentucky in the second round. I'm not sure though. It'll be interesting to see. That's for sure.
Here's my break. And now squad either. Wow, you're the new team captain.
Degree Advanced Protection. Ultimate protection activated every time you
I mean, this is aside from having to play Cincinnati and Columbus, possibly this is a dream draw for Tennessee. I mean, a dream draw. Especially if Virginia loses in like the second round, which they probably will. This is a dream, man.
There's all new with Lupita Nyong'o Monday and later this week Paul Giamatti.
So if we play Kentucky again, we'd play them in the Final Four. This is setting up great for us. This is interesting. Very interesting. This Midwest region is full of weird stuff. Number 1 seed North Carolina, number 2 seed Kentucky, number 3 seed Houston, 7 seed Wofford. Tons of good teams in that region. Region's loaded.
Welcome back, everyone. 3 brackets down, 1 to go. Several fan bases still waiting to see where and if their teams make it into the field of 68, so let's get to it. Here's the final region of the tournament brackets from the NCAA and its corporate champions as we reveal the West region. The 4th overall number 1 seed is Gonzaga.
Gonzaga got a 1.
Seed for the 3rd time in their history, and the 2nd time in the last 3 years.
That surprises me, but it doesn't. They probably deserved it.
Gonzaga sliding down to the floor, even though Carolina lost in the semis of the ACC tournament. That surprised me a little bit.
So we probably
every single year and a tough out in the tournament
would have been a 2 even if we won today.
Salt Lake City in the West. These are Thursday and Saturday games. Gonzaga, the top seed, they will meet the winner of the first 4 game in Dayton on Tuesday between the Knights of Fairleigh Dickinson. Out of the Northeast, the Knights go back to the NCAA tournament by beating St. Francis in the NEC tournament finals. They will meet in Dayton the Panthers of Prairie View A&M out of the Southwestern Athletic Conference. Panthers going to their first NCAA tournament since 1998 after winning the SWAC tournament title.
That's a high-scoring, explosive group. Doesn't have a lot of size, but they've got a lot of firepower.
All right, the number 8 seed in the West. The
Syracuse.
Syracuse, 6th out of the ACC. Coach Jim Boeheim, 34 NCAA tournament appearances. They will meet the 9th seed Baylor Bears, 15 out of the 12. Baylor, 19-13 on the year. First and second round games in Hartford, Connecticut on Thursday and Saturday. Our 3rd Big East team is the Golden Eagles of Marquette. Big East regular season title finished 1 game behind the Wildcats and the Golden Eagles as a number 5 seed in the West are ready to go. Who do they meet? They'll have a little bit of a task. The 2nd team out of the Ohio Valley, the Racers of State.
That's going to be a great game.
Conference title with Belmont and then beat them in the tournament final. So So Murray State, like you said,
That is going to be a great game.
But the important thing here to know is, again, bubble teams.
I feel bad for Marquette.
We're still waiting on those last two teams in on the first four. They'll be on the 11th seed, but we slide this bracket.
All right, number 4 seed in the West, the 7th team out of the ACC, the Seminoles
Florida
of Florida
State.
State. After a 1-4 start in conference play, boy, they just reeled off all kinds of victories.
I think that Gonzaga comes out of this region, but if there's a dark horse for me, it's the Florida State Seminoles. Deep, athletic. The only question is, can they make enough shots when they need to? But that's a team that you got to keep an eye on. Very dangerous.
Who are they playing? They're playing the Catamounts of Vermont out of the American East, and the number 13 seed in the West region. 2 NCAA tournament appearances in the last 3 seasons for Vermont. Comes in at 27-6 on the year.
All right, we're about to see the last 2 teams into the tournament.
Friday and Sunday. From the Mid-American,
Buffalo.
The number 6 seed. They won the Mid-American regular season and tournament championships.
The highest seed for a team from the MAC since the field expanded. No team had been seeded higher than 8 before. Awesome work and well done by the blue-collar Bulls from Buffalo.
All right, first 4 games.
Last 2 teams in.
Who will they meet? It'll be a matchup between
Arizona State and St. John's.
Number 11 seed and the 3rd Pac-12 team into the tournament.
Chris Mullen and Bobby Hurley, it was a long wait to get to this point in the show. But 2 are in the tournament. Those are the last 2 at-large teams in the tournament.
Chris Mullen took St. John's to 4 NCAA tournaments as a player. Gets into their first tournament since 2015. The number 3 seed.
They probably both deserve it.
Raiders of Texas Tech and the 16 out of the Big 12. First regular season title since 1996 when they played in the Southwest Conference. So Texas Tech on their way.
One of my favorite players in the country, Jared Culver, leads the Red Raiders.
And number 14 seed in the West out of the Horizon League, Northern Kentucky. The North be top seeded, ranked state to win the Horizon League Tournament Championship. Now, first and second round games in Des Moines, Iowa on Thursday and Saturday. The number 7 seed, the Wolfpack of Nevada. On the Mountain
Nevada
West
all the way down to a 7.
The second team out of the Mountain West, and they will take on the Florida Gators, the 10 seed in the West, our 7th SEC team, the Gators.
Well, they're losing in the first round.
The SEC quarterfinals.
Florida is.
And at the bottom of the list, the number 2 seed, the Michigan Wolverines, came up just short in the Big Ten Championships game tonight. They're the 8th team out of the Big Ten Conference. They opened the season on a 17-game winning streak. They ended it strong as well, and they will face the Grizzlies of Montana.
They played Montana last year.
Won the Big Sky regular season and tournament championship, and come into this tournament with a record of 26-8. So there is your field, and let's go back to the top and take a look and see who
the field is set
to contend with down the road.
Well, Florida State is in that region, as you can see, and again, the Seminoles dangerous. This Vermont team has been outstanding for several years, and good to see them back in the tournament.
Yeah, interesting couple of the power conference teams who did not get in TCU, Texas, and NC State. So the committee did value some of these mid-major candidates. I think this is a pretty good path for Gonzaga. They lost to Florida State.
Oh, I forgot about NC State.
But that was the one where Killian Tilly got hurt. And then as far as the bottom half of this bracket,
Clemson didn't either.
Buffalo is the team to watch. I just think Texas Tech is playing solo right now. Clark scoring the ball. I actually like Texas Tech to beat Michigan in the Sweet 16, go to the Elite 8, lose to Gonzaga.
Okay, I hear you. You got it mapped out.
That's what a
bracketologist does.
All right, guys, the bracket's now complete. We turn our attention to the teams that barely made the field and the teams that barely missed the field.
Last 4 in.
Temple, Arizona State, St. John's. Pretty accurate from what we predicted earlier.
No question. I mean, you have probably 8 to 10 teams that you're looking at for probably 3 to 4 spots. And these teams were all in that conversation. And it becomes a matter of what the committee chooses when they go into the voting.
Very glad Belmont got that large.
Here because, again, when you get there, as Seth likes to always say, if you played yourself into that position, then there's not really much room for you to whimper and complain.
And teams that were close but not making the tournament. UNC Greensboro, Alabama, TCU, and Indiana, Seth.
Yeah, and again, those teams all lost considerable number of games in their own power conferences. UNC Greensboro, the fact that it looks like, I don't know if they're the first team out, but they're even on this list, a great accomplishment for them. Just not enough quality wins. So I think the committee basically, kind of split the difference here. They got Belmont in, but they did not reach as deep into the power conference well as maybe some people were expecting. I think that's I'm sorry for those teams that didn't get in.
Sure, no.
But I think that's a good strategy, a good place to land where they go.
You have no argument, Clark.
None at all, because again, there's a thin line. But when you're looking at the teams that were in that last four in, last four out conversation, I think the committee landed in the right spot.
All right, here's how the conferences broke down, the ones that earned multiple bids, and here's how
SEC
was
was 7.
8 teams out of the Big Ten, 7 out of the ACC, 7 out of the SEC, and then the Big 12 is next with 6. That's pretty much the way you guys thought it would be.
I'm looking at my notes from earlier today, and I had it about that way in terms of the Power 6, clearly, when you take a look at what transpired there.
Now, 7 non-Power 6 teams earned an at-large invitation, Seth.
Yeah, but we'll go back to that list of the teams that didn't get in when you talk about Oregon winning the Pac-12 and St. Mary winning the West Coast Conference, and then VCU losing in the A-10. So those were 3 spots. Right. That graphic that we showed up, 3 of those teams would have been in the field for those results. That's why it's March Madness.
All right, guys, now that the bracket is set, time out to play Infinity's Bracket Pool Challenge, where every registered bracket nets a donation to Coaches versus Cancer. Learn more at Infinity. Timeout. We'll talk live with the man who oversaw this year's selection process, the chair of the NCAA Men's Basketball Selection Committee, Bernard Buehler. We step aside for more joyous celebration.
Well, there you have it. The field is set. I'm gonna go ahead and end the stream here. Thank you for everyone that stopped in and watched for a little bit. We got a good draw. Cincinnati in the second round. In Columbus would be tough if we had to play them in the second round, but